I think I'm going to end up regretting this, because if you're not already aware, in my last video, I started it by doing something very dangerous. Now, Matty, what could possibly be dangerous in a Marvel Contest of Champions video? And that was exactly what I said last time, and it's what I'm going to say again, because last time I asked the comment section to be nice, and I know that's risky, but surprisingly, everybody was nice, and I was flooded full of positive, helpful, constructive comments, and I will be acting on those comments, acting on that feedback to reshape the way I structure my rank ups in Marvel Contest Champions as a free-to-play player, both trying to enjoy the game but also compete in Battlegrounds. So thank you to everybody who commented and helped me on that video. But this video, we are going to return to the concept of arseholery, and this time we are gonna flip things on its head. So I want you guys to roast my Shathra gameplay. I want you to critique it and just really degrade me in the nicest possible way. But I want to know, what am I doing wrong here? I will be the first to say that I'm not running a relic. Okay, I am as unreliable as I ever am with relics, and you can see that I think the Scarlet Witch relic will do pretty well with Amplify for Shathra. I could be wrong, let me know what's the best relic for Shathra. She's also unawakened. I have no clue if that actually helps her. I don't think it does, but let me know. Again, I cannot be asked to check any of this myself. I'm just going to ask the comment section. And apart from those two mistakes, I want you guys to really dig in. What am I doing wrong here? Because Shathra, I know I'm very, very late to the party. I did just pull her from my last live stream, not like 2 days ago. But this is like my, I believe, second time playing Shathra. So I took her for a spin around with Legends, and then I decided to record this video. And this is the footage you're seeing right here. But it's very, very important that you guys help me, because I know that Shathra is a very, very important character. And even though I have a pretty stacked Mystic roster, like I have Kushala, Chavez, Spiral, all at rank 3. I have Kindred and Juggernaut at rank 4. You know, I have a good Mystic roster. I still know that Shathra can offer me something, right? She is obviously a mix of unique damage with her, I think those are eggs, which is certainly unique. It's a bit fucked up, but it's also unique. She's a great mix of damage, but also lots of utility. So that atrophy passive obviously makes her very, very good for Maestro's hard counter, but also exceptional against Serpent, because she just reduces the duration of his immortality buff, and all is well. You can see that I tried to power steal Rhino when he had no power, so that was a little bit risky. But that, like, mechanic alone offers her an awful lot of utility, and then her damage being mainly focused in like bursts makes her very, very good for Sentinel, but makes her also very, very good for Dark Phoenix. So she bypasses Safeguard, where someone like Juggernaut or Chavez does not. So even though I have a very stacked Mystic roster, I know Shathra definitely has a lot to offer me, and I have no idea what I'm doing, right? The footage you are seeing right now is based off what I've seen from streamers and other content creators just over the years. Like, everything that I've seen on the internet about Shathra is basically what you're seeing here. And I think in this footage, you're gonna see like a combination of two tactics. I think by the end of the video, I've kind of settled on one, but I think in the first two fights here, I go for one SB1, and then I just try and loop as many SB2s until the damage falls off. But, you know, I'm not well versed in Shathra's eggs, so I don't really know how that works, but someone please let me know. Write a full essay in the comment section. Lord knows I've had quite a lot of those recently, and just let me know. And you're going to see her atrophy in this fight coming in handy against Unstoppable Colossus. There aren't an awful lot of buffs going on here, and we don't have class advantage, but she's going to sink, I think, every single fight. Just get smacked in the face because I'm not charging the heavy attack at a safe time. I think she's going to sink every single one of these opponents in this lane in around 60 seconds, which is pretty good. Now, this is a 7-star rank 1 in 7.2. I have a couple bonus clips from 7.3 later on in the video. They're just for fun. I found a fun lane in 7.3 with power efficiency and increased special damage. I think it's quite funny. But yeah, she might be punching down a little bit here, but, you know, no class advantage going on in that match. I know I got smacked in the face, but she obviously hits hard. This is quite a fun lane, by the way, just explaining this lane. This is a superiority lane from 7.2, so even though it looks like I have class disadvantage, actually I have class advantage, which is fun, so that's something. But yeah, I want you guys, obviously don't get hit is a pretty obvious critique, but I want you guys to help me. I want you guys to critique everything you see and just say, all right, Matty, you need to do this, this, and this, and then you get the most out of Shathra, right? That's what I want. That's what I want from today's video, for the reasons I've mentioned. And you're going to notice throughout the rest of this video is going to be me basically struggling for things to say, because I try and power steal someone with no power, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And normally when I make a video on a champion, I at least know the basics, or I know enough about a character just to talk for 15 minutes. However, with Shathra, I really do know nothing. I really do know nothing. I think she has some sort of persistent charge mechanic, so I think technically throughout this quest we are getting ranked. I think I mentioned, I heard Usafa mention that when he took her to rank 4 ages ago. I think I watched that video. I think she has some sort of persistent mechanic, but I'll be damned if I know what that is. She has a pre-fight ability that I only noticed for the first time after her deep dive when I took her into Realm of Legends. I don't think I've ever seen that pre-fight used, ever. Obviously someone has used it, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. She boosts Spider-Verse characters. Sure, right? She can use her charges to place a pre-fight that benefits some Spider-Verse champions in certain ways. Whatever. All right. All right. Does she need to be awakened? Again, I have no idea. Although I do know she has pretty good prestige. So she can also help my roster that way. You know, if I were to take it to 6200, obviously as a free-to-play player, I don't have much room to move when it comes to signature stones. Those are very much reserved for champions that, okay, don't get hit is probably going to be the most common critique in the comment section. But yeah, I don't have much room to move when it comes to Sig Stones, and Shathra doesn't jump out to me as someone who needs Sig 200, but you know, I know she has decent prestige. So if I do want to respect Kabam's stupid prestige 30 thing, then I guess that's helpful. This Spider-Man fight, I looked at this going into the lane and thought, you know what? No. No, that fight didn't exist. Obviously, it just didn't exist, guys. We are now living in Soviet Russia. That fight never happened, comrade. It just doesn't exist. You're wrong, you're misremembering it. There were 5 fights in this lane, only one in the 7.2, didn't you know that? 5 fights, no Spider-Man. Right, so we now have Juggernaut, and Juggernaut is the 5th and final fight on this lane, before we move on to, I think, quite a nice Nova boss. But yeah, I think if I were to just to, you know, give the comment section a bit of a prompt, when should I be charging heavy to build power with Shathra? Because I think the best time to do it is when the opponent is just over a bar of power. Like you build them just over a bar of power, you then parry, dash back, charge heavy, and by the time they can do anything, you're gaining enough power to chuck an SP2 by the time they run at you, and they don't have enough power to throw a special. Because you've seen like multiple times throughout this quest, I've been smacked because I'm just charging it at the wrong moment. And that is definitely helped by the Oscillate node. So on top of the superiority bollocks, there is also the Oscillate node, and that means the opponent every now and then goes quite passive. I don't know why I was just charging heavies in the corner, but there we go, Juggernaut is dead. And again, I think every single opponent on this path went down in just under a minute. So that's pretty damn good. And now we move on to the boss. I think, again, a pretty fair Nova fight with around 500,600k, I think. Well, we're going to find out in a second. But yeah, Nova with just some generic nodes, nothing Shathra can't deal with. And yeah, I think Shathra, the idea of having Shathra pretty highly ranked in my roster is fun. You know, I think part of the reason why I'm attracted to this character, not physically, but part of the reason why I'm attracted to this character in terms of the gameplay is because she's quite fun. I genuinely enjoyed playing Shathra. She looks incredible, as usual. Full credit to the art team. They did not disappoint with the Summoner's Choice of 2024. But yeah, I think, you know, the whole egg mechanic, as fucked as that is pretty fun. No character is going to be immune to eggs, but that's That would certainly be new to me. And then you just charge heavy, and in certain lanes, as you're going to see after this Nova boss, okay, after I get smacked again, when am I supposed to be charging that heavy? Because I see people do it and it looks effortless, but I just keep getting smacked. I don't really know why. But yeah, as you can see in the next lane, she's just an awful lot of fun. She's just an awful lot of fun, and some of the benefits of that atrophy node, as you can see, we're not actually doing anything to the buffs. You know, obviously they expire faster, but they're expiring naturally, and we're not doing anything to the potency. We're not nullifying or neutralizing. You know, it's just letting things tick. And I'm sure in the future we will have Cosmic Defenders and their duration of their buffs cannot be reduced, right? I get it. I get it. I know how this game works, but that was a very nice takedown of Nova if you ignore the smack. And hey, 550,000 health. I know we had class advantage, but for a 7-star rank 1, like 75 seconds? Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, let me know. What am I doing wrong here? I want to know. I bet a skilled Shathra player could pretty easily get that down to like 60 seconds. And that will be really, really impressive. Really, really impressive. I like characters with skill cap. So, you know, I'm not a bad player by any means. So I do enjoy testing myself and building that skill over time. But yeah, this lane here, this is a Paradox lane in 7.3. And we're going to have a bit of fun. So this lane increases your special attack damage by 10% for each Paradox. And there is a passive power efficiency on both champions. I mean, you can probably tell where this is going. This is the fight from the intro, and we're just going to have a lot of fun against this King Groot here. So here, we bait out another SB1, and we chuck off our SB1, and now, after he throws his SB1, awful lot of SB1s flying around, we're ready to start power stealing, and this is the fight from the intro, right? So here, we just dash back, bait the SB1, and it's time for us to go again. That heavy reach is insane, and then we just nail the stand-up intercept. She is really easy to stand-up intercept with, and down goes King Groot with a very nice 50k crit. I've just got one more fight from this lane. You know, I wanted to beef this video duration up just a little bit. We're going to go up against a Night Thrasher. You're going to see I have to start managing the Paradox charges, but if you are a progressing player, if you are either completing or exploring 7.3 and you do happen to have a Shathra, either as a 6-star or a 7-star, you didn't hear it from me, but she does pretty well. She does pretty well. It really is a blast playing with this character on this lane. I thought it would be a shame not to include it. So here we go for a full 5-hit combo into an SB1, and I think this Night Thrasher isn't going to last much longer than 50 seconds. I think that's really going to be all she wrote for this guy. So yeah, we knock him down, just manage our Paradox charges. We don't want to go over, I think, 11, and then we start taking damage. But yeah, here we go for our second SB1. That power efficiency is really, really helpful. Bait out his SB1. So many SB1s flying around in this quest. And now we can just start rinsing this man. Nice 45k crit. And yeah, our special damage is only going to go up in this fight and throughout this quest. Yeah, we go for our second SB2, and that really is damning. I chuck the SB1 through the block. Luckily, he does not punish me, and the power efficiency allowed me to throw another one. And that is just about all I have for you today. Please roast my Shathra gameplay, because I want to learn. And if you have made it this far, then congratulations. You have an attention span greater than that of a goldfish. And go away.